happening?
Though my power is in constant flux, I have always kept a reserve for this very moment. It was a true test of your prowess. You have done well.
There is one thing I must ask. By sundering the world into 14 shards, the ether of all living beings too was divided. This reduction would in theory allow us to more easily interact with Dynamis. Having seen mankind brought to the very precipice of extinction, you wished for us to develop a means to overcome despair. You believed we had the potential and sundered all creation to see it fulfilled, to deliver us to that swirling maelstrom of Dynamis in which our foe hides, and grant us the power to defeat her once and for all. Is this not true?
It is as thou sayest. 'Twas the trial to which I subjected mankind, and it hath led to untold bloodshed and suffering. There was no kindness, nor justice in the tragedy I wrought. When confronted with the almighty Zodiac, my only recourse was rend him and the world asunder, that his power be diminished for a time. And so it came to pass. Now you, my chosen, have surpassed my expectations, surpassed me. I entrust the fate of the universe unto you. This crystal contains the memory of Meteion's passage through the stars. Deliver it unto the Loperites. They will guide you to her.
Though they may be capable of crossing great distances, there is a vast difference between traveling to the moon and the furthermost reaches of the great expanse. And unlike Meteion, we cannot simply soar on waves of Dynamis to our destination.
Indeed. To make such a journey would require an astronomical amount of ether. But a solution lieth close at hand.
Dynamis.
Of course.
Yes, my child. Ever since I became the will of the star, the ether drawn here had slowly crystallized. They who have answered my call know it well. While I have remained hidden, it hath become the embodiment of the planet's will in my place. A faceless, omnipotent force of nature. The Mother Crystal, our final hope. Alas, I can do no more. The fulfillment of this task doth fall to you, my chosen. Now, heed these words. Darkness and light, despair and hope, as goeth one, so goeth the other. Become light, become hope. have a gift for thee. Come closer.
She's gonna stab me.
Long have I searched for a means to safeguard the future of this star. Though I knew failure after failure, by recalling thy tales and my promise to thee, I found the strength to carry on. Though the world is ever changing, thy thirst for adventure hath never waned. Thine unshakable resolve never ceases to amaze, to inspire. As a mark of my gratitude, I bestow this final gift.
I like this song.
Thou dost possess the crystal of Azum, yes? As Heidelin, I reside over the forces of stasis, tranquility, peace. The laws which impart stability to existence itself. I will weave this self-same power into the crystal, granting thee mastery over matter, to give form to the formless. Use it wisely, or it will not last indefinitely. As thou hast seen on thy journey through the ethereal sea, souls are drawn to thee. Mayhap this trait will prove to be a boon rather than a hindrance. It is thy hopes and prayers that enable Azum's invocations and give them life. So keep them close. But pray, remember this. When the way forward is hidden, even from the mind's eye, look not to the invocation, but within yourself. These were the words of the crystal's original bearer. With that, my work is finished. Fulfill our promise. Right the wrongs committed when the world was yet whole. Silence the song of oblivion. Teach her a brighter melody. Show her our journey is far from over.
We will find our way, Nanette.
Of this, I have no doubt. For yours is a light brilliant beyond measure. Long after I have gone, though not even my soul remaineth, my love will be with you forever, my dearest children.
See you when you get back, Void. Thank you for hosting. Oh. Did not enjoy processing that. Choppy. There's an easy fix to that. Over here, just slapping stuff on. Ba, 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 ba. I'm glad to see you well. Though we could roughly place your souls, deep as you went, we could neither see nor hear you. The fluctuations in your aether near the end gave me quite a fright. What in the world happened? You mean to say Heidelin is... No, there's no time to feel our feelings. We must carry out Heidelin's will without delay. We'll find Medion, if that's the last thing we do. If you wouldn't mind handing over the crystal, that is. The fancy navigatory one. To the edge of the universe, where congregates the despair of countless stars, you are determined to see this through? We are. Should words fail us, we will fight to the bitter end. I know that it pains you to accept this. Would that I need ask you nothing more of you. Yet we have only two means to travel the great expanse, the moon and Charlene's Ark. I am all too aware that without both of them, there will be no exodus, but I nevertheless beg you to honor the agreement we made. The Forum's decision will be honored. You have earned the right to use the ship as you see fit, and I could not rescind it even if I wanted to. As it happens, I do not, and would do all within my power to aid your cause. With that settled, might I suggest you rest a while? Proving oneself to Heidelin is never easy, and despite our unparalleled genius, we'll need a day to make the necessary calculations. You may as well take advantage of it. You can chart a course through the sea of stars in a single day? Ye gods. Shall we head above ground for some fresh air, then, and perhaps a nap? Well, that was a lot to take in. Oh, what am I doing? I need to go over here. Ah, I've been expecting you. I've heard about your foray into the ethereal sea. The students have ventured far and wide, but never quite so deep as that. Are you experiencing any after effects from your prolonged exposure? Nausea, dizziness, hauntings? Well, have a pleasant sleep, and if you do experience any unusual phenomena, please let me know. I shall add it to our records. Yes, retire to my chambers. Her children, one and all, complete. Am I about to have nightmares?
There you are. Some time, indeed. Yes. For you, at least. Believe me, I'd meant to get some proper sleep. But here we are, drifting along instead. Well, you too. And so we remain, to watch and wonder. indeed. To begin, we first must see the end.
Fast within your arms. Hope's legacy. A bold decision. Trial has urgent news. Moldy, I trust you've had a good rest? An envoy of Master Fortunant arrived not long ago. Not a long ago. That made no sense. With a message. The Loprets have determined Medion's location. We've been asked to gather at the Rosetta. I'll meet you there, along with the others. Rostra, not Rosetta. Let's go. Everyone appears to be present and accounted for. Good. As you know... Oh, hold on. Got a notification from... There's someone at my doorbell. Hold on a second. It's mail! I'll go grab it after this cutscene. As you know, the Loprets have deduced the whereabouts of Metion by means of a crystal bequeathed to us by Hydaelyn herself. Your quarry's location is a place far beyond the moon, in the farthest reaches of the Sea of Stars, at the edge of creation. The veritable Ultima Thule. Indeed. How then are we to reach it? An excellent question. Luckily for you, I have an equally excellent answer. In theory, with its advanced propulsion systems, the moon is capable of delivering you to Ultima Thule, but the myriad other facilities housed within would greatly impede travel through the Sea of Stars. Even the Mother Crystal may not possess aether enough to bear so massive a vessel to our destination and back. However, if we integrate our Hyper Hopper into your Aether Burner, we should be able to fire things up and jump our way to the end of the universe in no time. Father, does this mean... Bear in mind this decision was not made solely at my discretion, but with the consent of the Forum. Hearing the Lopret's proposal, the Forum was faced with a grave decision. To commit the Ark to this endeavor would mean abandoning both our plans to evacuate to the moon and to resettle on another star. Needless to say, the proposition invited fierce debate. In the end, however, the Forum was swayed by the simple fact that Hydaelyn believed you possessed the strength needed to overcome this crisis. The Great Exodus was, after all, a plan of Hydaelyn's own making. Therefore, in the 11th hour she would proffer another means by which we may seek salvation, we would be fools to dismiss it out of hand. Indeed, she sacrificed everything, her very existence, to avert the destruction of this star. That is why we have chosen to place our faith in Hydaelyn, in you. The Ark will be made ready for your voyage to Ultima Thule. What of the people that have labored so tirelessly to prepare for the evacuation? They must be furious. I would not be so sure. They have not forgotten your deeds on the Magna Glacius. Nor did your instrumental role in orchestrating the delivery of adamantite go unnoticed. No, the people did not protest. Quite the contrary. They have expressed unwavering support for you and your mission. Are the Lobberets too willing to abandon the Exodus? Were you not listening when you said we were born of Heidelin's love for Aetheris and its people? It means your survival. If it means your survival, we would do anything to help. And you'll most certainly have need of our expertise where you're going. There's no guarantee Ultima Thule is a place that supports life, an otherwise vexing problem our know-how can remedy. Besides, Heidelin chose us to lead the way to Meteion. Why else would she give you a crystal only we can decipher? But more importantly, we were perfectly content to evacuate Aetheris until you brought us here, Ryanje, and now we're enamored with the place, so what choice do we have but to save it? Send me all your cat photos, Emmy. Of course, none of this is possible without you and the Scions, so I must ask, will you certainly wish to do this? We'll avert the final days, whatever it takes. Very well. We shall inform the Forum of your decision and begin preparations to bolster the Ark with the, Piper Hopper. The Lobberets will coordinate with the Ilsbard contingent to have the necessary components transported via the Tower of Babel. Of course, it will take time until the work is complete. For now, pray take your ease. It would seem there is naught to do but rest and prepare, shall we? Okay, I'm gonna go get that mail real quick, just sitting outside my door. Alrighty. Back to it again. Oh, how did I miss this? Ere we depart, we must leave nothing undone. Quite, though it is difficult to conceive of how one can best prepare to brave a domain where Dynamis governs all. Nevertheless, Heidelin deemed us worthy of the trials that await. For lack of any other feasible options at this late stage, let us trust in her judgment and face Meteion as we are. Which leaves the not-so-small task of coordinating our efforts here to you and Tataru. If all goes to plan, we'll be back before you know it. I certainly hope so. We will be praying for your safe return. Mayhap it will affect the Dynamis for the better. With that settled, we should get some rest and make the most of the time we've been afforded. The meeting's over, is it? You were in there for so long, I started to worry. What did they have to say? Age of creation. I see. Rest assured, everything will remain in order until you return. And you will return. Yes, we will. Actually, Moldy, could I borrow you for a moment? Looks like your plans for the interim are decided. When the two of you have finished, meet us back at the Baldessian Annex, alright? Come with me to the Agora. I have something to show you. Bless you, Void. Don't bite your tongue off, though. Kinda need that. Where are we going? Just going to the markets. Very busy today. Welcome, Moldy, to the Taru's boutique. I've always done my best to provide the Scions with fashionable attire, but in your case specifically, I make an extra effort to strive for the most functional yet stylish clothing one could ask for. Not that I'm playing favorites, but you are the Warrior of Light. Faced with this unprecedented crisis, I knew you would need an ensemble unlike anything I've created before, and that I wouldn't be able to do it alone. So after enlisting the aid of the world's finest artisans, I finally completed my career-defining masterpiece. But then inspiration struck, and I saw a golden opportunity just begging to be seized. With the help of some Thavarian refugees, I decided to set up shop here in Charlian. Of course, we'd never charge you for any of our works, perish the thought. Varsarud. How are things coming along? Everything is in order, Mistress Tataru. We'll be ready to open shortly. Which is why I brought you here, to be our very first patron. Would you mind waiting here for a moment longer? Okay. The event following cannot be skipped. I wasn't paying attention, but I was waiting. I did not expect to find you here. Oh. I imagined Nidhana would also offer to wish her regards. Alas, after delivering our dragon scales to the engineers, she remained to assist with their work on the Aetherburner. The simulacrum, too, will stay in Charlian while I oversee matters at Radzatan. It is a rather convenient means to keep abreast of developments pertaining to the final days or anything else. It also allows me, after a fashion, to watch over my people in this distant land. Shahan, I was hoping you'd stop by. I can't thank you enough for allowing your artisans to work with me here at the booth. Please, it is I who should be thanking you. This establishment has restored a sense of normalcy to their lives. You have blessed them with newfound purpose and a means by which to support themselves in these troubling times. What's more, when they at last return home to Radzatan, the experience and knowledge they have gained in your employ will no doubt prove a boon to the artistry and commerce of our land. In fact, I came here to see how your new employees are settling in, and to express my gratitude for granting them this opportunity. It's an opportunity for me as well. Believe you me, your artisans have taught me so much about Thavarian craftsmanship. Your resourcefulness and ingenuity are nothing short of inspiring. I can't wait to see what kind of wonders we come up with. I pray you every success in your endeavors, Mistress Tataru. Before coming here, I heard word of the Forum's decision, what would soon be attempted. It was only then that I finally understood why my father called the star the last bastion of hope. Indeed, it was the last bastion, for the flame of every other star he encountered had likely been extinguished. In the boundless dark, the light of brimming life must have been blinding in its splendor. You journey into the heavens to protect that light. May the scales of my kin serve you well. I have faith you will prevail, and restore peace and tranquility to this star. I should like to visit Radzatan again when this is all over. And we should be honored to receive you. There is still much of Radzatan you have yet to see. Forgive me, but I must take my leave. Fare you well, and remember, the people of the star have not yet given up hope, and neither must you. Where must I go to get a meal with some flavor in this wasteland of taste? Moldy, my old girl. My, whatever are you doing here? A new boutique, you say? I had been meaning to expand my wardrobe. Yes, something with a little more flair, perhaps, fitting a man of my station. Though I have nowhere to flaunt said remnants, so long as my confinement continues indefinitely. The young Lord Fortemp insists that I, so long as there is work to be done, no matter how trivial, must abide here in Charlian. Thus do I toil, though every fibre of my being rails against it. Why, I've even suffered the company of that brute Sicard to see supplies transported in a timely fashion. Yet he was the one granted leave this morning to participate in some supposed covert operation. So I suffer instead for his otherwise welcome absence, now burdened with the extra busy work. And without Honrath here, there was no one to prepare my meals. I came here in the hopes of finding a nice cafe, perhaps. Alas, the Charlian delicacies I've sampled were lacking in every respect. If a hearty meal is what you're after, I'd suggest the Last Stand. The cafe over on the pier, the cuisine didn't appear all that appetizing, but if you vouch for the cooking, then perhaps I will give it a try. Thank you for the suggestion, and ta-ta for now, old girl. Well, well, is that Moldy and Tataru I spy? Where? We have not seen Heian once. I want to see Heian. And Yagiri. Sorry, big yawn. Hancock, what are you still doing here? You said you were returning immediately after dropping off your cargo. Yes, that was my original plan. After all, any expertise required aside from the delivery of goods is well beyond my purview. But what manner of entrepreneur would squander an opportunity to study the markets of the northern seas? Worry not, I will return straightways to Kugane once I have finished. Tataru is a money... She is a mob boss. Of course you would find a way to turn this crisis to your advantage. She wounds me, the illustrious woman running a new boutique. I am not blind to the trivials of those who fight on the front lines to deliver us from ruin. Indeed, I have every confidence that will succeed, and I would make myself and my business ready for their return. If you believe in them so devotedly, then why not put your money where your mouth is? Fair enough, Tataru, fair enough. There is not more I can do to help ready the Ark and her heroes for their maiden voyage, but on your return, I shall host a grand celebration in your honor at the Bocario Inn. Accommodations are quite costly, given the reputation of said establishment, but at the East Alderaan Trading Company, who would be honored to foot the bill? Will there be lemon cakes? Oh, a woman of tart tastes, I see. Yes, there will be lemon cakes and much, much more. The finest delicacies the world and Lord Lorito have to offer. But let us speak more of this upon your return, lest I draw even more of Tataru's ire. Until next we meet. It's always funny seeing people dressed up as the main characters. Ah, Moldy. Decided you spend your time at the markets, did you? Figs and wedge! Tataru! Figs, wedge! I take it work on the Ark proceeds apace? Aye, it does, indeed. Collaborating with the greatest minds of Sharlayan and Razatan has been a rewarding experience. And that's to say nothing of what we've learned from the Loporets. The Ark is unlike anything we've ever had the pleasure to work on. Even Nero was rendered speechless on more than one occasion. I can't wait for you to see it. And you'll never guess who paid us a visit before we came to Sharlayan. Alpha! I think he sensed the coming danger and returned to check on us. He was always one to turn up in a time of need, and I suppose that's why he decided to join us here in Sharlayan. Good thing, too. I don't know how he does it, but he has a knack for brightening your day just by being there. That is a fact. It's still hard to believe we have the means to send you off to into the great expanse, though, to the farthest known reaches of, well, everything. I never thought I'd live to see such marvels, yet here I am. More often than not, you and the Scions are the catalyst that sparks the need for these great innovations. To think how much I'd missed out on had I not been a member of the Ironworks. An awful lot of work, to be fair. And the privilege of being worked like a cart chocobo. There is that, too. As busy as we've been, I wish there was more we could do for you, Moldy. But no matter what happens, we have to keep believing for a brighter future. And one filled with even more adventure. When you head back, would you tell the engineers I'll be along shortly with refreshments? That's very kind of you, Tataru. They'll be glad to hear it. And on that note, Wedge and I should get going. Still a few more supplies to gather before we return. Terribly sorry for the wait. Right this way, if you please. Right. I don't believe the two of you have been formally introduced. This is Arsarud from Palika's Stand. I feel like I have. You were in the cutscene, one of them. Haven't we met before? Ah, yes. It was you who helped us at Prussia, and again when crossing the ice fields, was it not? I doubt we exchanged little more than glances then, but it is kind of you to remember me. Thanks to Mistress Tataru, I and many of my friends found gainful employment in this foreign land. It's only natural to feel fear in the face of calamity. In such times, we must look to one another for... I fucked that up. Budgeted that up. In such times, we must look to one another for strength and succor. I know not whether we will come to call this place home or return to Thavnir, but we are here today. We are glad to have contributed to the case. To the cause. And contribute. They did, by helping to make your new garments as durable as possible. We put our hearts and souls into them, and I have every confidence they'll keep you safe in the battle to come. Gods, to think how far we've come since our humble beginnings at the Waking Sands. From the rising stones to the falling snows, and even a certain insufferable someone's Ruby Bazaar, we're always fortunate to find friends along the way. Even when you were swept away to the first, Graha Tia was there to grant you sanctuary. I'll never forget the relief I felt when you all returned to us. I thought my heart would burst. Yours has been a long, long journey, and I've been privileged to watch, often with bated breath, as you persevere time and again. For all the joy we've shared, there's been much sorrow as well, but I've long since learned that you can't have one without the other. Which is why I promised to send you off to the Sea of Stars with a smile. And you can be certain I'll be the first one to welcome you back on your return.